Howdy, this is Tom the Beer Whisperer, and it's been a long time since I've been able to do a beer video. Most of you know that our son Seamus was diagnosed with leukemia back on February 13th, and we've been spending most of our time at the hospital. We got home for a brief stint, and somehow he contracted chicken pox, and we were back for a few days. He wasn't supposed to be able to get chicken pox because he'd had the vaccine. He wasn't supposed to be able to get chickenpox. They even tested him when we were there the first time. They said he had the immunity, but he got chickenpox. Anyway, make a long story short, we're in the hospital for a little bit, and we're back. My computer, my internet have been giving me grief, so while they're working briefly, I thought I'd try to sneak a little beer video in. But first I want to share a story with you. While we were there the first time, one of the male nurses commented that the most used phrase in the hospital was, "Isn't that the cutest baby ever?" And I tried to explain to him that, being an older and, bear with me, wiser man, I tried to explain it to him from this point of view. Women look at babies like men look at boobies. For instance, a woman sees a baby and says, "Oh, aren't you the cutest baby ever? You're the cutest baby ever. Just look at you. You're so cute. I just want to eat you." Man sees a pair of boobies and he says, "No, look at those boobies. Those are the cutest babies ever. Those are the cutest babies ever. I just want to eat them." See what I mean? All right. What does that have to do with beer, you ask? Well, nothing really, other than I've always thought titties and beer was a good combination, not to mention a great song from Frank Zappa. And on to beer. I had a rather odd upbringing and spent a lot of time in bars as a kid. Didn't necessarily warp me. It depends on who you talk to. But I'm going to pop a beer here. Seems to me that kids today don't know the same bar etiquette that I learned growing up. So I want to start simple with some vocabulary. Some folks can kind of misunderstood what certain things mean. This is actually Pilsner, Joseph's Brow from Trader Joe's. It's contract brewed out of San Jose, California for the Trader Joe's company. I'm not going to tell you who actually makes it. Look up San Jose craft breweries and you're going to figure it out. But anyway, it smells pretty good. Here we go. Vocabulary 101. Beer. Okay. Drink. Okay, start again. Sip, drink, swig, guzzle, chug. A lot of people think some of these are similar, mean the same thing. They do not. Sip. A sip generally means when someone just takes to their lips, barely touches on their tongue, and tastes. Here's why this is a bad idea. This will never work with beer or liquor, especially because my phone is ringing. All right. Hold that thought. This will never work because it will always burn. You get it to touch just your lips and just tip your tongue, it will always burn. Never sip when you're tasting liquor or beer. Never, 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 never. Go straight to a drink. A drink is obvious. It's a drink. You see that? I took a decent amount. I held it for just a little bit. Enough to get everything in the right place. Bitter receptacles are back here in your tongue. Pretty good. I'll give you a little background on this beer real quick before I go to the next one. It's 5.4 and 32 IBUs. That's pretty good numbers for a Pilsner, and it's actually a pretty good beer. We're going to take the next one. Sip, drink, swig. Some people think swig and a drink are the same thing because they'll casually say things like, "May I have a swig of that?" A swig is not a drink. A swig is a big drink. Big, big drink. But it's in one motion, just like this. See that? Big drink. Got it? I think you're following me. You seem like a smart crowd. Guzzle. Guzzle and chug. Some people think guzzle and chug are the same thing. They are not. A guzzle are several swigs in succession without stopping. I'm going to try not to dribble down my chin as I demonstrate. Here is a guzzle. Got it? Did a couple, 3 swigs right together. That's a guzzle. Now a chug is generally done when you're starting with the full beer. Doesn't have to be, though. A chug is when you take it all from the... The chug is when you finish everything. So you can start with a full beer and chug it, and it's all gone. Or you can see, look at the rest of that, and say, I'm going to chug the rest of that. It means you're going to finish it. So I'm going to demonstrate a chug. I can't play in the big leagues anymore, folks, but I can coach. Because that was a perfect example of a chug. See that? Doses per Pilsner. Again, good numbers for a Pilsner. 5.4, 32. Nice, nice, nice. Especially when you figure that is only $6 a 6-pack. Yazoo. I'm going to do one more real quick. I'm going to run these all together for you. I'm hoping my beer friend crowd out there has enough attention span to stay with me. I generally keep my videos really short, under 5 minutes. But again, my computer hasn't been cooperating, my internet hasn't been cooperating, and now that I've had very little chance to do beer videos due to our situation. So now that I have a moment, we are home, everything is looking good, Seamus is doing great, the wife is leaving me alone. I'm going to do this real fast. Schlafly. Can you see that? Schlafly-Weizenbock. I'm going to read this. Schnucks and Schlafly beer invite you to try the third beer in our collaboration series, WeizenBock. This bold, unfiltered wheat beer is loaded with fruity and spicy characters brewed with large amounts of wheat malt, along with a good dose of Munich and caramel malts. This beer has a rich, dark brown appearance with a spicy flavor. The German Weizen yeast enhances the distinct profile of this beer, which gives it half its name. The other half is from its alcohol content, which is more similar to a Bock than a Dunkelweizen, its nearest cousin. Okay, let's sum that up. This is actually a collaboration of St. Louis supermarket chain called Schnucks and St. Louis craft brewer Schlafly. I hadn't seen this before. I was very eager to try it, so we're trying it together for the first time. I've actually hadn't seen this one before. So I'm actually pouring it into this beautiful Erdinger glass I have. See that? I don't know if you can get a good look at that. My lighting isn't the best here today, but I'm working with what I got, people. Anyway, can you see that? Let's have a nice, unfiltered, brown color, similar to a brown ale. Yeah, there is some fruity aroma going on there. Oh, not so bad. I haven't tasted it yet. I'm going to let that head go down just a little bit. And my video is running a little over 8 minutes, so I really want to wrap this up. Because I do try to always keep them under 5, but stay with me, people. This is important stuff. Okay, great aroma. This beer is 8%. I don't think I mentioned that. It just said on the bottle, high alcohol content. This is an 8% WeizenBock. And that was a drink. You see that? I took a decent amount, not too much, not too little, enough to taste. Got it. Very fruity. Not a lot of hop going on. I'm going to do a little bigger, actually. We're going to go to Swig. You following me? Very nice. Actually, this finishes very well. If you like this style, you're going to like this one. Schlafly is a pretty good brewery for the most part. They're not one of the darling craft breweries out there. You know, and they've been kind of a hit and miss on some things. But for the most part, they knock out some really good beers. And, you know, I mean, we're Springfield, Missouri. Springfield, Missouri. You know, we're kind of, we're about 3 hours from Kansas City, about 3 hours from St. Louis, kind of in the middle. So I basically consider any brewery in Missouri local, to be honest with you. My family loves me, and they made this sign as I'm doing this video here. You see that? There's a lot of love in this room, I tell you what. And I'm almost at 10 minutes, so I really need to wrap this up. But we have one more drink here. Tell you, always remember, no sip when it comes to alcohol. No sip, no sip, no sip, no sip, no sip. Drink, swig, guzzle, chug. Got it? Boobies are just as pretty as babies. And Schlafly-Weizenbock, if you ever get to a Schnucks, this is a must try. I mean, if that's the only place you can get it, you're gonna, and you're a beer guy like me, you know, anytime I see something I haven't seen before, I have to try it. So there you go. Ta-da! Thank you, folks. I'm glad I was able to drink some beer with you. I'm glad you're able to be with me. I love y'all. I'm gonna dancing Buddha my way out of here. Da 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 da. Dancing Buddha. All right. See you later, folks. That didn't stop.